Is it clear now? Salsabil, voice clear? Voice clear? ভয়েস বোঝা যাচ্ছে? So please confirm again whether the picture and voice are both clear to you or not. Alright, so now let me start my lecture. So I am recalling, okay, I'm recalling all the formulas of straight line. This is for class 11, chapter 3. In today's class, I will explain all the formulas regarding straight lines. And in next class, I will start solving creative questions. Okay? So now the first one you see here, the formula. There are two systems of coordinate. One is polar coordinate system, another one is Cartesian coordinate system. And in the Cartesian coordinate system, the value of x and y will be given, and you will be asked to find the polar coordinate. So polar coordinate means the value of r and theta. What is r and theta? You know that if it is x-axis and y-axis, then Cartesian tell me that you go to the right side or left side for x value, and you go upward or downward for y value. This is Cartesian. But the polar says, say this point I want to locate with the help of polar coordinate. Polar said that from the origin you take the length, this is also called radius, and you take the angle. So if you start from the positive x-axis and if you go anti-clockwise direction, then say this angle is 30 degree and this length is say 5, then the polar coordinate of this point will be 5, 30 degree. So this is polar coordinate. So a point is located by the help of the radius or length from the origin to that particular point, and an angle. This is polar coordinate. The angle may be given in degree or in radian. It's your choice. So now say Cartesian coordinate is given. Say the coordinate of this point is say 1, 2. This is the coordinate, and this is the Cartesian coordinate. So the 1 is the value of x and 2 is the value of y. So what is the corresponding polar coordinate of this point? So here in place of x you put 1, in place of y you put 2. So this will give you 1 square is 1, 2 square is 4, 4 and 1 is 5. So r will be root over 5. And here you put 2 and this is 1, and use the calculator to find the angle theta. But here you have to be very careful that the theta, if you want this angle in degree, then fix your calculator in degree mode, and if you want the angle in radian, then fix the calculator in radian mode. Okay, now what about the point in second quadrant? Say here, second quadrant, say this is -1 and 2. What about -1 and 2? In this case, you just put -1 here in x and 2 here, you will get the result. But what about here? One method is you take all the positive values. For example, here -1 and 2 are given. So you put 2 here, you put +1 here. Don't take -1. You take everything plus and use your calculator to find the theta. Then, since you are in the second quadrant, say by using the positive values, you have got 30 degree. Then, for second quadrant, the actual answer will be 180 minus 30 degree, 150 degree. So, if the point is given in the second quadrant, then one value is minus and another value is plus. But in case of finding angle, you use all the values as plus. And the angle that you will get, this is not the answer. The answer will be 180 minus that angle. I think it is clear to you. What about in the third quadrant? Say this is minus 1, minus 2. Again, the process is you use all the values positive. Don't take negative. Use plus 2, plus 1. But that angle is not the answer. The answer will be for the third quadrant is 180 plus that angle. Say if you use 2 and 1 here, then say you got 30 degree, for example. So in the third quadrant, the angle will be 180 plus 30, so 210 degree. So I hope you have understood this concept. And the reverse one is, if r and theta are given, that is the polar coordinate is given, then how to find the Cartesian one, that is x and y. Say r is given say 2 and theta is given say 30 degree. In that case, to find the value of x, put 2 here and 30 degree here. So 2 cos 30 degree. Use calculator, this will give you the value of x. Similarly, you put 2 here and 30 degree here. So 2 sin 30 degree, this will give you the value of x. And by this way, you can convert the polar coordinate into the Cartesian one. So remember these two. I hope you understood. Now the second formula is this one. 2 points will be given. 2 points will be given, A and B. Say A, the coordinate of A is x1, y1 and coordinate of B is x2, y2. And there is a point here in between A and B, and the point is R, whose coordinate is AB. And this point is dividing AB internally. Internally means this point is lying in between A and B. In that case, what will be the value of the coordinate of R? That is the value of A and the value of B. So in that case, say the distance from A to R is M1 and from B to R is M2. In that case, the formula will be for A and B, M1x2 plus M2x1, and for B, the formula will remain same, just x2 will be y2 and x1 will be y1. If it is a middle point, R is the midpoint, in that case the formula will be this one, x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So remember, this formula can be applicable when the question will tell you that R is internally bisecting, internally dividing A and B. Remember this one. And here, this is another case. A and B are given, but this time R is outside of either B or A. Here I have drawn from outside of B. So this is called R is dividing AB externally. Remember the word externally. So similarly, you assume that the distance AR is M1 and distance BR is M2. In that case, the formula will be similar to this one, but a minus sign will be used here. So remember these two formulas. These are very important formulas. In straight line problems, these will be used. And formula number 3, this one. This is we have to find the area of, and we will be given 3 vertices of the triangle. Say x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. And this is the formula of finding the area. This is the determinant sign. determinant, not the modulus sign. This is determinant. The way you have found determinant in matrix and determinant chapter. So this is the same formula. You have to expand this to get the answer. So this is the x1, y1, and extra 1 has to be added here, remember. So x1, y1, 1, x2, y2, 1, x3, y3, 1. So this is the determinant. Remember, this is determinant, not the modulus sign. So apply this one, you will find the area. Or there is another alternative formula which you have learned in class 9, 10 in higher math. And the formula is here. Area is half of. So in this case, you start from any point, either from here or from here or from here. So from which point you will start, it's up to you. But say I'm starting from here. Either you can rotate anti-clockwise direction or you can rotate clockwise direction. And here I am rotating in anti-clockwise direction. So this is the x1, y1. So write x1, y1 here, then write x2, y2 vertically, then x3, y3, and then this is the starting point. You have to write it again, x1, y1, and there is a half here. Don't forget this. Now what to do? This is not determinant. Remember, this is not determinant. This is not the determinant. This is modulus sign. Now you multiply this one, x1 by x2, multiply x2 by y3, multiply x3 by y1. Then you subtract the product of this one plus product of this one plus product of this one. So you will get the area. So there are two formulas. One is with the help of determinant and another one is with the help of this one, which is the modulus. It cannot be negative. That's why modulus sign is given, so that even a negative value which you can get after calculation here, so it will be given in positive because of this modulus sign. I hope you understood this. Now if instead of triangle a quadrilateral is given, so this quadrilateral is given, these 4 points are given, how to find the area now? So in this case you can split the shape into two halves. Now you are getting two triangles. Now apply the formula for the triangle twice, and you add these two, you will get the area. I hope you have understood. Now in straight line the most important concept is slope or gradient. So I will explain the concept of slope in elaborately by giving some examples. Say there are three situations here. What is gradient? What is slope? To give you the exact idea, I am giving you three real life situations here. One is, say, in the year 2010 the cost of something is 10 taka. In the year 2014 cost is 18 taka, and in the year of 2018 cost is 26 taka. So how much this cost is increasing in 1 year here? So you see, this is the 4-year difference, and here the 8 taka difference. So in 4 year the increase amount is 8 taka. So in 1 year increase amount will be 8 divided by 4, that is 2 taka. So how much the cost is increasing in 1 year? 2 taka. And this increase in 1 year in geometrical language called slope. Slope means rate of change. How much something is changing, this is called slope. Changing means it can be increased or it can be decreased. So the first situation was the example of increasing situation, and this is the example of decreasing situation. Say in 2010 something cost 26 taka, and after 4 years the cost becomes 18 taka. Now the cost is decreasing. So in 4 years the decreasing amount is 8 taka, so in 1 year it is 2 taka. And remember, here the cost was increasing by the same amount every year, that is 2 taka. And this sort of change is called uniform changing by the same amount every year 2 taka. The cost is increasing here and cost is decreasing here 2 taka by 2 taka every year. This is called uniform change. And in this situation there is no change at all. It was 10 taka after 4 years, it is still 10 taka after another 4 years, it is still 10 taka. So there is no change at all. So in this case the slope will be 0, there will be no slope. So we call the slope is 0 here. There is no change, the slope is change, that is rate of change, remember this one. So the formula of the slope will be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and this is the coordinate formula. Two coordinates will be given, x1 y1 and x2 y2. And here remember which one has to be written first, y2 or y1. It doesn't matter which one you will write first. If you write y2 first, then you have to write x2 first in the denominator as well. Or if someone writes y1 first, then you have to write x1 first. So just maintain this order, then the formula will remain same. And in trigonometry, the slope can be converted into an angle, and this is actually will be tan theta. How? Say this is x1 y1 and this is x2 y2. You draw a perpendicular here, draw another perpendicular here. So this distance is x1 and this distance is x2. So what about this distance? x2 minus x1. So this is x2 minus x1. And here this distance is y1 and this distance is y2. So what about this one? y2 minus y1. So this smallest part is y2 minus y1 and this one is x2 minus x1. And the formula is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So with respect to this angle theta, this side is opposite and this side is base. So this formula tells you this is nothing but opposite by base, which is actually tan theta. So M is in trigonometric form tan theta. Tan theta. So I hope you understood. So in there is another form of slope in calculus. What is that? Say this is y2 minus y1. So difference in y, and this is difference in x. So difference in y is can be written in short dy, and difference in x can be written as dx. So this is actually dy by dx. So the same thing is represented in three ways. In geometry this is m, in trigonometry this is tan theta, and in calculus this is dy by dx. So all these things are same thing, just are represented in different ways, but the physical meaning of this is rate of change. We will measure the change. So in the first case something was increasing, so slope is positive. In the second case something was decreasing, slope was negative. In the third case there was no change, so slope was 0. But there is another case. It is, say in 2010 cost is 10 taka, and 2010 in the same year cost increased by another 10 taka, there is 20 taka. Now if you apply the formula, you will get 20 minus 10 divided by 2010 minus 2010, which is 10 divided by 0, which is undefined. So this is the absurd situation. The slope is undefined. So there are four possible types of slopes. One is positive, it means something is increasing. Slope is negative, it means something is decreasing. Slope is 0, it means there is no change, that is it is constant. And undefined, here slope is totally undefined. We cannot define it. Okay, so I hope you understood the concept of slope. So remember, slope is rate of change, and change means either it will increase or it will decrease, and if there is no change, slope is 0. Now, if there is uniform change in the reality, if we convert this uniform change into geometrical uh, graph, then we will get straight line. So straight means uniformity. So if there is uniform change in reality, the conversion of this reality into geometry, graphical shape, will give you the straight line. If the change is non-uniform, the graph will not be a straight line. It will be a curve. Remember, the straight line means something is changing uniformly. Uniform means by the same amount. Same, this is proportional, directly proportional. So remember this one. So in case of increasing case, the straight line will look like this. So it will make an angle which is acute angle with the positive direction of x. But in case of decreasing situation, the straight line will make an obtuse angle with the positive direction of x. But in case of no change, the straight line will make no angle with the x-axis. It is 0 degree. So remember, this straight line means something is increasing. This angle is acute angle. So acute angle means increasing situation, and obtuse angle means decreasing situation, and no angle, that is 0, means no change at all. So here, and the fourth, absurd situation, where slope was undefined, it is actually a vertical line, because for the same value of x we are getting different values of y. So that's why it is undefined case. So there are 4 possibilities in case of straight lines. Slant lines, this is slant line, but the angle is acute angle. We are considering this angle, not this side. We are considering the angle with the positive direction of the x. Remember, that to the right side. And this angle with the positive direction of x, this is obtuse. So acute means increasing, obtuse means decreasing, and 0 degree means no change. So in case of no change, the straight line will always be horizontal, that is parallel to x-axis. So remember this one. And the absurd case, when we cannot define slope, it will always be vertical line. So I hope you understood. So 4 types of straight lines are there. Now we will focus on the equations of these 4 types of straight lines. The very familiar form of equation is y equal to mx plus c. Here m is the slope and c is the y-intercept. Why c is the y-intercept? Because if you put x equal to 0 here, then this part will become 0, so y will be c. So this is called y-intercept. So this is called slope-intercept form of the straight line, because slope is given, intercept is given. So this one is called slope-intercept form. But we can convert this straight line into other forms in our convenient way. How? Say, if say this is the straight line, this part is your A and this part is your B. This part is known and this part is known. It might be here as well. This is A and this is B. Here as well, here as well. There are 4 possibilities. In that case, the equation might be written x by A plus y by B equal to 1. But remember, this formula cannot be used in case of the straight line which is passing through the origin, because in this case A is 0, B is also 0. So you cannot divide x by 0. So remember this one. And if the straight line is passing through 2 points, x1, y1 and x2, y2, in that case the equation might be this one, y minus y1 divided by y1 minus y2 equal to x minus x1 divided by x1 minus x2. And this can be written this way as well. No problem, you can just modify it into this one. And if you know that the straight line is passing through a point x1, y1 and m is known, the value is given directly, in that case the formula will look like this: y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. And if this situation is given, this is a very important one. This is the straight line. We have to find the equation of this straight line. But the informations are given. This line, so this is the perpendicular line on this straight line from the origin. And the length of this line is P. And this angle is given alpha. In that case, the equation of this line will be x cos alpha plus y sin alpha equal to P. So remember this one. And generally, any straight line equation can be written as ax plus by plus c equal to this is called standard equation or general equation. So remember this one. If we go back, say this part, the equation of this part will be y equal to mx plus c, m will be positive, and this part will be y equal to mx plus c, m is negative. What about the equation of this part? Here m is 0, so y equal to a constant. So when you have y equal to a constant, remember that this is a horizontal line. And what about this one? Here m is undefined, so here x will be a constant, say a. So this is always vertical line. In the question, either it will be told in this way, that this is the horizontal line, or equivalently this is perpendicular to y-axis. So if I ask you what is the equation of the line which is perpendicular to y-axis, it means perpendicular to y-axis means parallel to x-axis, which is horizontal, so y equal to something, and this one is vertical on x-axis, so it is equivalently said that it is parallel to y-axis. So when you will solve the question, try to understand the language of the question. Now another important formula, which is a point will be given, PQ, a straight line will be given, the equation is known. The equation is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So this line is the perpendicular distance or shortest distance. From this point, we have to find the length of this distance, this one. The formula is, you put p in place of x, you put q in place of y and write it here up to c, and here the denominator root over a square plus b square. So this is a very important formula. You just remember this one. And if there are two parallel lines given, say here I am drawing, so this is the line, this is another line, parallel line. So there is a distance between these two, say this is d. In that case, the formula will be c1 minus c2 divided by root over a square plus b square, because the equation of the parallel line will be ax plus by plus c1 equal to 0 and ax plus by plus c2 equal to 0. Remember, in case of parallel lines, a and b will be similar for both lines, just this constant will differ. So in the question, in the formula, you have to subtract the constant and you have to take the square root of a square plus b square. Now look at here, two straight lines are given, one is this one, another one this one. How will you know that these two straight lines are the same line? What is the condition? The condition is this one. If the coefficient of x divided by coefficient of x here, that is a1 by a2, is equal to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2, then these two straight lines will be the same line. Remember this one. If two straight lines are given this way, they will be parallel. They will be parallel if their gradients are equal, m1 equal to m2. Remember this one. if the straight line is given as ax plus by plus c equal to 0 in this form, then its parallel form will be ax plus by plus k, because in case of parallel line only c will differ, this a and b will remain same. So remember this one, this will save your time, ax plus by plus k equal to 0. And if these two straight lines are perpendicular to each other, then the product of their gradient will be minus 1, m1 into m2 equal to minus 1. And if the straight line is given in this way, then to save time you can write its perpendicular line directly as bx minus ay plus k equal to 0. That is, the b was the coefficient of y here, this will come with x, and a is the coefficient of x, a will come with y, and here if there is a positive sign it will be negative, if there is a negative sign you have to make it positive. So alter the sign, alter the coefficient and alter the sign in between x and y, and also change the constant. So this is the perpendicular equation of the line, this one. So remember this. Now we will find the equation of the straight line which is passing through the intersection point of two lines. This one and this one are intersecting, say these two lines, this is the intersection point, and this line is passing through this point. We are finding the equation of this line. So it is very easy, just remember, you write any equation, either this one or this one in the first line, but don't write 0, the left hand part, plus a constant into the second part. So one line plus constant times another equal to 0. So this will give you the equation of the line which is passing through the intersection point of these two given lines. And this is the angle, finding angle between two straight lines. Say this is one straight line, this is another straight line. So the angle is this one and this one. So one angle is acute, another one is obtuse. So in that case the formula will be, to find this theta, tan theta plus minus m1 minus m2 divided by 1 minus m1 m2. m1 will come from this equation and m2 will come from this equation. Plus is used for acute angle and minus is used for obtuse angle. So remember this one. And this is the last formula. Two straight lines will be given. Say this line is given and this line is given. So there are two angles. One is this one and another one is this one. We have to find the equation of the bisector of this angle. This line will bisect this angle. So what is the formula? We have to find the equation of this bisector and this bisector. There are two bisectors. So the formula is, you take this part, left part, divided by square root of coefficient of x, x1 square, coefficient of y, b1 square, equal to plus minus, you take this part divided by, again take its coefficient and coefficient of y, a2 square plus b2 square, plus and minus. Because there are two bisectors, that's why plus will give me one bisector and minus will give me another bisector. So I hope you understood all the formulas. Inshallah, in next class I will explain some creative question, important creative question. I will pick the creative question from the test paper and I will explain those. And you will please study these formulas, because if you understand the formula clearly, if the concept of the formulas is clear to you, then solving problem will be more clear. I think so. So thank you, my students, and sorry for the inconvenience at the beginning. This was the technical problem. So hope next time it will be more fruitful. Thank you, and please keep studying. Don't waste your time. This is the best opportunity of studying. You are getting leisure time, and utilize this, please. You are missing the classes in the school or colleges, but you should not miss to take the opportunity of studying at home. Please study. study hard. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.